Howdy folks, Singing Toad here, and today what I want to quickly make mention of before I finish off my video here is that I just got in some long-awaited stickers. I did a sticker swap with Patty's Potato Peelers from across the shuck, and so I have his business card here, I have his sticker here, and he sent me this. Let me just pull this up closer to the camera. He sent me this sticker as well. I think this is the Jack Wolf Knife logo. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I think that's what that is. Super awesome. I don't own a Jack Wolf knife, but it is something that's on my list of knives I want to buy, and I'm just going to have to save up and get one. As you know, Pete, Jersey Knife Guy would say, if you really want something, you save up for it, and you're absolutely right. So I'm gonna have to save me up some money and get me a Jack Wolf knife one of these days. They are very, very beautiful, and I'd like to get one in my collection. But anyway, so that is Patty's Potato Peelers, and that's his card there with his logo, and of course, very, very nice, very, very cool. Thank you very much, Patty, for doing a sticker swap with me. I really appreciate that. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. This is fairly green wood. It was only cut off the tree a few days ago, and it's very, very green wood, so it is a little tough to get through. Plus I'm also holding a free hand here, so that's also making it difficult. Seems to just be bashing it apart rather than cutting clean through. This is the factory edge, by the way. This hasn't been touched up or anything like that. Try a little thinner piece here. Yeah, see, it just broke it. Didn't actually cut through. How well you can see that. What I'm just trying to do here is just take these little branches off so I can cut this into smaller lengths so it can eventually be dried out and go in the fire pit. Takes these little branches off, no problem though. Well, except for that one. There we go. See if it'll go through this one here. Whoops. See if I can take this one off. So, yeah, I don't know how well the camera will show that. There's I mean, there's a clean cut here and a clean cut here, and then that little bit on the end. So, altogether 3 clean cuts to get through it, but my aim wasn't very good. I'm also kind of holding this out in front of me here, so you know it's flopping all around. It's what other excuses can I make up? I'm just gonna see if I can cut this end off here. Again, it only seems to want to cut so far, and then it just kind of smashes its way through. Try another one here. What I also wanted to make mention is that I am wearing these cut-proof gloves. Kevlar gloves, and I also am wearing eye protection just in case something were to fly back into my eye. Don't want to lose my eyesight doing daft things like this. Seems to have no problem with these little guys. This one's a little gnarly. Yeah, no problem getting through that one. Man. All right, let's see how well this Buck 124 does doing some chopping through this. I want to say it's about 1.25 inches in diameter. And again, this is green wood. It was only cut a few days ago off a tree, so not ideal for chopping, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but take my glove off here real quick. Yeah, no damage to the edge whatsoever. Alright, so final thoughts on the Buck 124 Frontiersman. At this point in time, this should be the end of the video where you saw some outdoor clips of me being like a fool and chopping away at some branches and some shrub, or not really shrubs, they're like trees. Really, they're small trees, but they were trees that were on the side of our house, and I had to take them down, had to cut them down with the chainsaw originally, and then process them into smaller chunks. Eventually they'll dry out and they'll go in the fire pit, but for now they've just been a nuisance, and I had to start breaking them up. So today I decided to use my 124 to do some of that. I didn't do all of them, but I did a good number of them with my 124, as well as some other tools like a saw and things of that nature. But I definitely delimbed them using this knife. Now, what can I say about the Buck 124? Well, you know what? I have to agree with Peterbuiltknifeguy, and that is, this knife is not ideal for chopping. The hollow grind and the fact that it's very handle heavy, there's not a lot of weight out at the tip. You know, a lot of chopper type knives are more heavier towards the blade or balanced with the weight out near the tip for chopping. This knife, not so good for chopping, and you would have seen that in the demonstration in the video. Now, fortunately, I did not sustain any damage. If you go check out Peterbuiltknifeguy's video, and if I'm editing here, I might put it down in the video description for you. Some interesting results. He definitely used his 124 and tested it to the extreme, and some surprising results there. But you know, fortunately in my case, I was going through, I'm going to say, a lot softer wood than what he was using, and I did not damage the knife. It started with the factory edge. It has dulled ever so slightly. Let's just do a quick paper cutting test, just to see if it's how sharp it is. So it's still slicing through a held sheet of paper. Let's just get this junk out of here. You know, but it definitely isn't as razor sharp as it was when it came out of the box. Now, up near the tip, which I didn't use the tip all that much, this is still quite sharp, but definitely down here where I did the bulk of the cutting, and you can probably see the blemishing on the blade here, because that's where I was pruning the trees with. Now the small diameter tree branches, the ones that were about the thickness of my pinky finger and smaller, this went through no problem. It just nicked them off like nothing. But anything like once I started to get up into like my thumb size, it really took a few whacks to get through. So again, I think a lot of that has to do to the design of the knife. So what is really the thing with this knife? Personally, I love this knife. I really do. And as an avid buck collector, it's one I wanted for my collection for a long time. And if you are an avid buck collector, then it's probably one you're going to want. But if you're not really a buck guy and you don't understand these type of knives, I'm going to go ahead and say you're better spent, your money is better spent just getting the regular buck 119. It's considerably less money than this guy, and even with that being said, there are many other knives out on the market that are like half the money of this thing that will outperform this as far as chopping is concerned. If, going into the woods and chopping down trees or batoning through wood or just doing really, daft things with your knife is something you want to do, I would not recommend this for that purpose. And what baffles me is why Buck went with the hollow grind on this. I personally think this would be better with a convex grind or a saber grind, just to give that added strength and put a little more meat out here. If they just weighted the knife slightly differently, it would be much better at doing those chopping tasks. But the way it is now with the hollow grind, I just scratch my head going, why? Why? What is the point of this knife? It's too large really to use for skinning an animal, processing wild game. I mean, really, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to use a much smaller knife for that. I'm not saying you can't. It's just that you have a lot more control with a smaller knife. So maybe this is meant just to be a big, showpiece. I don't know, but from the simple testing that I did today, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is, definitely not ideal for chopping. And I wasn't really going through all that thick stuff, but it was definitely work to get through it. And I have other knives in my collection, like the Joker Nomad, for example, that chop a heck of a lot easier than this thing does. So, again, I still love this knife, absolutely do. And I'm not disparaging Buck at all, but I just think that it's not ideal for chopping purposes. So anyway, that's my my 2 cents on that. Now that I've had some time out in the field with it, I'm going to be doing more field testing of other knives in my collection and doing videos and giving my thoughts on them, okay? Anyway, folks, tell me what you think. I'd like to hear about it. Thanks very much for watching. This is Singing Toad signing out. Groovy.